How's it going? This is my report for the Swift project. I want to create a video because it's something I've done a lot for my media classes, and I think it transitions really well into a multimedia project. Um, the demonstrations on how I'm learning about music within Taylor Swift class. And I think I really want to highlight three things. As a musician, as someone who was previously a music major and has gone through a lot of music classes, including all of music theory, it's really weird to try to find things that I'm learning about music still, even in a class like Taylor Swift, where you're like studying contemporary music. And not even so much like hard studying like you would in a music theory class, but just kind of like talking about Taylor more on a surface level. But I think even in that way, I've learned a lot more than I would have learned, or things I would have learned not in a music theory class. Those three things are: one, I learned how to do music analysis, looking at it from a modern like pop perspective. I think that that's something that's super valuable. Obviously, I've done music analysis and music theory, but kind of taking it and simplifying it for how pop music is done today is arguably more valuable in a modern musician's skill set. Um, for example, we've done analysis on a lot of Taylor Swift music on their forms, on like, okay, this is the intro, this is verse one and chorus and everything like that. And I think that really, like, doing those studies and those breakdowns has helped me learn a lot about my own writing and how I can implement differences in, verse one, verse two, verse three that you don't really notice in Taylor Swift or in any pop music until you really sit down and like analyze those things. So I think that assignment and the things we've done in class about that has really helped. The second thing was lyrical writing and the use of lyrics in Taylor Swift's music. In a lot of contemporary, we don't get to look a lot at lyrics. And I think this Taylor Swift class has helped me a lot, especially when we had the guest speaker talk on different things like alliteration and metaphors used in Taylor Swift's lyrics. I think that's something that I've gotten to study and look into a little bit more. And then applying that to more like syllabic styles of writing lyrics, which is something that Taylor Swift uses a lot. And I think it's something that I kind of fall into a little bit as well. So seeing like how she writes music, especially in examples like there's a line, karma. That's a huge thing on metaphors, on like reflecting karma to certain things in Taylor's life. And I think that's helped me like think a little bit more about my lyrical writing as well. The third one was mixing and the way of instrument use in pop music. Taylor Swift has used a lot of different styles. She has transitioned a lot in the way she writes music. I think that goes back to that analysis thing where we talked about music analysis in contemporary music. But along with form, instrumentation was a huge thing too. We've talked a lot about rhythm in the traditional sense, but also how it applies to Taylor Swift's music with like how she writes rhythm and what instruments she uses for the rhythm in her music. I think that was really highlighted really well by Ernesto, another guest speaker in her class. He broke down some of those things when it comes to parts of the music that he's writing by showing us files, right, inside his mixing software, which is something that you don't really get to find in contemporary like music study or in a traditional music study. So being able to like see pop artists files on like how they write things, and then comparing that to the music analysis of Taylor and how she like layers different instruments, even though her chord progressions might be simple, she uses her instrumentals that accompany her voice very well in like changing up things. And the use of those instrumentals in pop music has kind of helped inspire me a lot in my music and help me learn about that, especially her use with different ways the acoustic guitar is used and the different sounds it can make, especially in her like more country influenced music. So I think it's been awesome, and I've been learning things that I really wouldn't learn from a classical class. So it's been a lot of fun.